Hi and welcome. My name is Julie Muse and this is Peter Vekselman. So what do we want to talk about today?
I think we need to talk about what everyone's hearing right now, and that's the news. I mean, let's face it,
Yeah.
if you turn on the news, if you read any kind of newspaper, go to any website, everybody's hearing the same thing. Everything's coming to an end, right? Interest rates are through the roof, and they are going up. You know, inflation, skyrocketing, and nobody knows what the end in sight is. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about how that affects us as investors. Is this a time for us to get out of the business? Is this a time for us to get in the business? Is this a time for us to, you know, maybe do things we weren't doing before? Let's just kind of put it out there. I'll tell you, like from my end, I've always felt that we as investors are in a business where we have to take advantage of opportunities, okay? And in essence, that's what we do. And I don't know if opportunity is a good word, but the bottom line is we as investors, we profit when others become motivated, right?
Yes.
We as investors profit when, let's say you go through a divorce, let's say you have a health issue, let's say COVID hit you when the pandemic was around, let's say you lost your job. This is where we as investors have the ability to, A, come in and help the individuals. And this is where we as investors also have the ability to make money. So it's like a win-win scenario. So how does that all relate, in my opinion, to what's taking place right now? It's an opportunity. It really is an opportunity because when interest rates are going up higher, when inflation is going through the roof, the one thing that's going to do is going to create more motivated sellers. And the thing is, in our world, when it comes to motivated sellers, that's what we're all about, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But you know, too, like on the opposite side of things, you know, you've got to look at who's buying houses.
Yep.
Right? So if you've got all these motivated sellers but nobody to buy the homes, I mean, that can propose a problem too.
Well, you're right. You're right. So, you know, what's the reality? Reality is we probably will potentially need to get bigger discounts. But you know what? I'm going to say something that I know it may not make sense, and I know a lot of people will disagree with this. I am not going to worry about that as much because I think there's still going to be a lot of cash in this business. There's still, you know, let's face it, when the pandemic was around, a lot of people made a lot of money.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, and it's funny that you say this because, I mean, I said this like a couple of months ago. We were talking about it. And actually, like back when I started, was right after the 08-09 crash, right? Yep. We were making a lot of our money wholesaling properties to end buyers that were investors.
That's right.
Meaning investors that are more long-term, meaning they're wanting for it like a long-term buy and hold. Maybe they're turning around and selling it on terms. So when you said all these people are making money, I mean, I think we need to explain that. So you've got these motivated sellers on this hand, right?
Yep.
You've got people that's got lots of money, and you and I have been in meetings where they're like, hey, man, when the market goes down, we can start getting these deals.
That's right.
We're saving our money for that.
That's exactly right.
So what does that really mean to like the average wholesaler or flipper? Like, where is the actual opportunity? Because people say, oh, there's going to be a great opportunity for us, but like nobody says what you should capitalize on.
Well, again, it goes back to during these times, unprecedented times, you could say, you know, inflationary times, high interest rate times, it creates more motivated sellers. And, you know, for a lot of reasons. And by the way, this is an interesting time. When economy creates motivated sellers, it creates another type of a motivated seller that's not seen in your typical, let's say, divorce, a health issue, a pandemic issue. In a divorce, reality is reality. It's like black and white. The judge says sell it. You know, health issue, pretty black and white. You know, you might have to need to divest of things. What happens during economic times, obviously these economic times are going to hit a lot of people. And so that's going to create a lot of motivation, just black and white. But also during economic times, it creates what I call perceived motivation, meaning there's going to be a lot of people who are just scared. And you and I talk to them all the time, right? And behind closed doors, there's really no reason for them to be scared. But because the TV is telling them they got to be scared, because the news channels are telling them they got to be scared, so you're going to have real life motivation in conjunction with a lot of non-real life motivation. I don't know if there's a word for it, but basically people are going to be motivated. So I think there's going to be a huge, huge influx in motivated sellers.
I mean,
Ano-
really, when you say that, like, I want to sit back and say, like, everybody's scared when they see that. I think it's kind of human nature because even though I talk myself out of the negativity, I'm not going to lie. When I see it, my first thought is, okay, let me go look at my account. If the hits the fan, I can do this, right? But then I go back to, I can survive. I can do this. There's opportunities there.
but
So
not everybody does.
no, I
Not
mean, talk
everybody
about
does.
that a little bit. Like, how do you? I mean, we're human, right? For an inkling, for a second, you had to have had a feeling like that.
Well, of course, and this is where, again, this is where I'm talking about. It's like a double-edged sword that's going to take place on motivation. There's going to be real-life motivation, and there's going to be this perceived motivation that's going to take
Yeah.
place. And so that's going to create a lot more opportunities for us than, let's say, conventional things that create motivated sellers. But on the other hand, and this is the big piece when you're talking about, where's the play here? This is like you said, you've been in rooms, we've both been in rooms, there's been people sitting on a sideline waiting for something to happen. These are I call them smart investors because
Yeah.
something always happens. And so there's look, people are pulling money out of things right now. The stock market, who knows what's taking place? Crypto market, an absolute
Well,
total
people's
collapse.
401ks.
401ks who were affected
terrible.
by the stock market and things like
People
that.
just lost, like, because of the stock market going down, which is hard. People that are investing in 401ks, like, some people have lost hundreds of thousands of dollars, like they've saved in this vehicle, and all of a sudden it's gone.
Well, but at the same time, with people pulling money out, they got to pull money into something.
Yep.
And so what's going to happen is, one, there's some people who aren't in trouble on the buyer side who've been waiting for something like this. They've been stocking money away, and so they're going to jump into the market. So on the wholesale side, we're all about people with cash and having. Plus, there's going to be people that are just getting out of other investment vehicles, and their money is going to come into the real estate investing business. So in my opinion, and I've called, to a degree, you've heard me call this. During the pandemic, when it was still around, I called it the perfect storm. I called it the equilibrium, right? I called it the equilibrium because I said, look, there's huge motivation by the sellers. There's huge demand by the buyers, equilibrium. I'm telling you, it's weird as it sounds. It's an extension of that. It's an extension of that. I think we will continue to have big motivation by the sellers. We're going to have a huge demand by the buyers. Right now, if you're looking to get into the real estate business, if you already are in the real estate business, and you're looking at strategies like wholesaling, Julie, I'm telling you, I think there's going to be, you said, interest rates are going to go up. That's going to hurt us on the buy side. I don't think so. I think these people with cash,
But that's what
they're ready to
people are
buy.
telling investors. Like, hey, stop buying properties, because people think that the back end buyers have to be regular homeowners.
No.
But there's still people that
Tons.
want to buy new homes.
Yep.
There's new people being born every day. There's people downsizing every day. There's people moving for jobs every day. It's not the same situation as '08 and '09, where we literally had bad loan problems.
Well, there's no question. We're in a totally different times. It's unprecedented times. And the other thing is this. I don't know if there's end in sight. Like, for instance, somebody asked me last night, well, how high do you think the interest rates are going to go? I don't know. People are saying, well, how high will true inflation go? I don't know. But even though there is no end in sight, I will also tell you at the exact same time, it is a finite time. There is a starting point. We're obviously started already, and there is going to be a finishing point. There is going to be a point where things are going to kind of get back to normal. Still plenty of opportunities when things are normal. Things still, we believe in this business more than believe in anything else, that this is the business to be in. But right now, we're kind of going up that hill in terms of better and better opportunity. I was at a meeting. I've shared this with you. I think you were there too a couple of years ago. We were at a meeting at one of the owners of Keller Williams.
Yeah.
And what did he say? He said the biggest money in the real estate business is made during hard times. And I think as much as you and I believe in the opportunity that's heading our way, we also feel very strongly this is hard times. And so this is the time to really, really prosper.
Well, yeah. I mean, talking about Keller Williams, Gary Keller is he's something else. If you ever get a chance to listen to him speak, especially on this topic. But look at other companies like Airbnb. They don't even own any real estate. And things emerge out of these markets. Uber. All of that happened
right.
when they were in a down economy. So, really what that tells me and what that should tell others is, what, it's not the time to put your head in the sand. It's the time, this is when great leaders emerge. This is when great businesses emerge. So what are you going to do? Are you just going to go at the same pace? Are you going to?
No. We're doubling down. We're speeding things up. We're looking for more opportunities. We know that they're there. We know they're there. It's just a matter: are we going to be jumping on them? Are our partners going to be jumping on them, or is somebody else going to do it? As far as I'm concerned, we're doubling down, tripling down. This is the time to really, really kill it in this business.
Yeah, absolutely. And the piece of advice that I would like to say about this subject is it matters who you're around.
Yeah, big piece.
Like I was somewhere this last weekend, right? Actually, it was my grandbaby's birthday. And people were talking about inflation and talking about this, and there's so many like negative connotations, right? I feel that if you surround yourself with negativity about this situation, it's going to bring you down with them. I mean, what's something somebody could do to keep an attitude like you have?
Well, you got to connect with the people that believe in what's taking place right now. Because there's two camps right now. There is the camp that says it's all over. It's time to bury your head in the sand. It's time at best at least take some time off. I get it. All you got to do is turn the TV on and you're going to hear plenty of pundits talking about that. But on the other side, there's people like us and really people that we know who are bullish on this time, who see the opportunity, and who right now are literally doubling, tripling down, and profiting from what's about ready to take place, what's already taking place.
Absolutely. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this session. See you next time.